Hello, this is DrSayus.
Hello, Mark the Nitpicker here.
And this is the first time Mark the Nitpicker is on webcam. So how do you feel on webcam?
Shy.
Shy?
Very shy.
You don't look it. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about is how our experiences of having the Nintendo Wii launch. And for me, the Nintendo Wii is my favorite console of all time. It's not yours. I think I know what yours is.
What's that?
PlayStation 1. Yeah. So this is one I really wanted to talk about, but this is still a console that you really like, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the only console I ever got for launch. When I got the Wii for Christmas, apparently my dad told me this story about how he had to bargain with the shopkeeper. I have a son at home who's really looking forward to this. He apparently bargained him into giving the last Wii console. So when I got it for Christmas, like everybody, I got Wii Sports and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, my favorite Zelda game of all time. But I started with Wii Sports. Now you got the Wii a year after me, so what was your experiences when you played the Wii for the first time?
First time I played the Wii I was in my dad's house staying for the weekend. I first played it then. I think the first game we played was Wii Sports with the box, and if I remember correctly, I'm right-handed and I accidentally selected left-handed on the settings. So, but I actually did win the boxing match that I was in. So that was basically my first experience on the Wii.
And were you boxing like a real boxer, or were you going?
I probably was so fascinated by the controls, I probably wasn't doing it properly. But
Yeah. Do you remember in school, the kids were going on about how crap the Wii was? I was so mesmerized by it. Like, you could hit it like a real baseball, or you could use it as a tennis racket. I was so entertained by Wii Sports that I think I didn't play Zelda until the next day. I was just playing Wii Sports all day. Those 5 mini games. Anyone who played the Wii for the first time was always mesmerized by it. Like, it was an incredible experience. I was actually going to get a 360 before the Wii, but I couldn't get one because my brother had a 360 and my dad didn't want any more 360s in the house for some reason. Even though I wasn't allowed to play my brother's 360. When you eventually got the Wii, what games did you get?
Well, I had Wii Sports, obviously. I had all the main titles: Legend of Zelda, Mario Galaxy. Just usually the ones that everyone plays.
I just have a list of all the games here. I'm not cheating. Sonic and the Secret Rings. I remember you had that one.
Yeah, I played that for a wee while. I wasn't a big fan of it.
You couldn't get used to the controls, did you? I actually like that game. I'm one of the few. You had lots of great titles you were able to play. I played the Zelda game after I got Wii Sports, and I was mesmerized to how realistic it looked compared to Wind Waker. So I loved the gritty graphics of it. Though somehow you were able to do a lot better in that game than I was. Like, do you remember the part I was stuck on in Zelda, where you had to sort of swing the wind boomerang?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure it out, and I was on it for a full week. I refused to look it up on the internet. And you suddenly came over and you did it in 2 seconds. I was like, how'd you do that? And you were like, the symbols are on the ground, you idiot. And I always thought you were really good at it. Then you admitted to me that you looked up some of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you cheated. But I think you figured out that one on your own, didn't you? Some of those puzzles really got my nerves. That game was magnificent, but I'd say the year after was when Nintendo really upped their game. And Galaxy was a real game changer for me. How did you feel jumping on the different planets?
It was quite interesting. Something I never really saw in a Mario game before at that time. It's very, very different.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy was incredible. The Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 run on different planets, and like there was really nothing like that game. Although the ending of Super Mario Galaxy 1 really irritated me. Spoilers for anyone who's watching, but it's this sort of generic level at the end. I think it's at the very start of the game, whenever you're running to Peach's castle. You get to do that level, and I think all you do is you collect 100 coins, and then Mario just flies off, and the game ends. And I was raging. I was like, what? Is this all I get for completing the whole game?
The cake was a lie.
That was after I collected all the green stars. The real reward was getting Luigi, but I was so pissed off, I don't think I even noticed. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was released a few years after that. That was probably the only game I've ever done where as soon as I got back from school, I played it non-stop. I was that addicted to it. It had more 2D sections, but it was so exciting to play. What do you think of the second one?
I played the second Mario Galaxy more, I'd say, than the first. I managed to complete the main storyline. I didn't really bother much with all the secret stars and whatnot, so it was definitely the one I played the most of both games.
Yeah, they brought Yoshi back. A lot of people made a big deal about that, but he was barely in the game. They did improve on the first game. It was pretty much like DLC, but the game was so good that we didn't really care. I also got Sonic and the Secret Rings at the same time I got Galaxy, and I liked that game because it was like driving a car basically, though you did have problems getting Sonic to stop. I also got Pokemon Battle Revolution. Do you remember that one?
Not much, no.
It was like it looked like a Nintendo 64 game, and you could battle Pokemon.
I didn't really play that. No.
That one was alright. You could also, if you have Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, you could transfer your Pokemon over, but it wasn't as good as Pokemon Colosseum. I also had Red Steel, which is basically a poor man's GoldenEye. And speaking of GoldenEye, your favourite game on the Wii,
Yeah.
why do you love it so much?
I think it was just a guilty pleasure for me, really. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters, but I played back when I was younger. I did play a lot of the original game, and sort of a lot of those memories were just brought back, you know. And that's really much I can say, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it reminded me more of Call of Duty, but I liked it because there was a bit more thought to it. Like you could go and do all the wee side missions, which I liked, and you could put the difficulty up really high. I'm a bit of a masochist. And the multiplayer wasn't bad either, though the levels were great, but I wanted like bots, you know, like random computer characters that you could fight against, like a Nightfire, but it wasn't to be. And aiming with the Wiimote was very intuitive as well. Do you remember old WarioWare?
Mm-hmm.
That game was very entertaining. Like, pretty much anyone you had coming around, you'd stick on WarioWare for a good laugh, and everyone loved it. A game that not everyone loved so much, though it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. I always find that name so funny. It was like a sexual innuendo, and the way the guy said it. Oh dear. So I loved picking the frog mini game because it was so broken that you couldn't even. I played it so many times I got good at it, and like I remember you playing it, you go screw you Aaron. And I got my girlfriend at the time to play it as well, and you were both struggling. Which one of you came in second, or did the time just run out?
Probably time.
I think my girlfriend got close, but then time ran out, and I won. So that had loads of mini games. I actually like the mini games. They're a guilty pleasure. I actually do love mini games. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. Like, I love the mini games in Sonic and the Secret Rings, which not many people will agree with. One of my favorites, Metroid Prime 3. Did you get this one?
No, I did not get that.
Metroid Prime 3. It's the only Prime game I've completed. It was very high production values. Like it looked as good as a PlayStation 3 game, basically. Like a lot of games made by Nintendo. I don't know how they did it. There was one wee bit that really annoyed me. I actually had to look it up. There was a wee crack in the wall. Like it was in this really obscure place where you had to fall down, and then there was this wee crack. Like it could have just been a texture in the game. It was the only time I looked something up for that game, and you just use one of your bombs to break through, but they really could have made it stand out more. It was like that thing, do you know in the old Zelda games where you have to light fire to the trees or something? It was a wee bit like that. Then later on, 2008, there wasn't many games, but there was two great games, Mario Kart Wii and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Two of the best multiplayer games on the system. We played the shit out of Mario Kart Wii. No pun intended. We were always on the online, me and Mark, playing against people all over the world. And it's one of the few games on the Wii which the online was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. Although I think later on people found out how to hack it and cheat a lot in the game. But Mario Kart Wii, anyone could pick it up and play it. It was just the most accessible Mario Kart. So I think I remember sometimes we did 4-player, my younger brother, and we had Peter as well. Mark, stop throwing those red shells at me! Do you remember? Peter used to get free bullet bills in each race and go, I have where's my bullet bills? I said, Peter, you've got free every race. That was quite funny. And then after the race had ended, sorry, I get a wee bit competitive sometimes. And then the other game we played was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We had a few friends that were around playing that. And one thing I loved about that game was there was a rotation feature, so you could have like 5 or more players. And I think it was the person who came in last had to give their controller to the player who was waiting after each match. So that was a good way to get everyone involved. What did you think of Brawl?
Fun game. It was the second Brawl game I ever played. The story mode in it was just bizarre, but yet fun to play. And my favourite video game character of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog, was a playable character. So for the first time ever, I could be Sonic and beat the crap out of Mario, or I could be Mario and just beat the crap out of Sonic.
Yeah. You always pick Sonic, ZD. You always has to pick Sonic, like nobody else. And you've actually gotten quite good with him, because he's the only character you've been. I love the story in that game. It was wacky as hell, but I love wacky storylines, so I do. And there was other games released later on. It held up very well. Like, I don't understand why people say the Wii never had any great games, because obviously they've never played the system, or they just played the shovelware. But it had so many great games. Like, you just had to look them up online and they're all there. So that was our experiences with the Wii. I had to gush about it because I love the console so much. You can play GameCube games on it, you can soft mod it and get like download all the Wii games onto it.
There was also a couple of ports to it, like Resident Evil 4. That was like one of the ports to the Wii. I think that was one of the best versions of Resident Evil.
Yeah, I actually got that one. Did I lend that to you one time?
I think you did. Yeah.
I think I did.
I
Yeah.
can't remember.
That game was amazing. I was blown away by the graphics of that game.
I think the game I give you was the Punch Out.
Oh, that game was brilliant.
Yes.
That was a brilliant game. I'm probably one of the few people who actually used the Wiimote to punch, like in Wii boxing. Everyone else used the arrows and the buttons. But I never played Punch-Out, so going into that game was quite an experience. Though there's some strange ones in there, like they brought in Disco Kid, and he was actually the easiest boxer in the whole game.
Nope, Glass Joe's the
He was for me.
Glass Joe's the easiest.
No, but do you see whenever you do the title challenge and Glass Joe has his helmet on? If you don't know how to beat him, if you don't know how to hit that up into the air, you're dead. And even on title challenge, the German guy and von Stroheim and Disco Kid were the only two that I beat first time in title challenge, title defense, because they were that easy. And Disco Kid, he just kept dancing and just hit him, you know? And he was easy to dodge. So
Did you say von Strine? Was it not pronounced von Kaiser?
Von Kaiser, yeah, von Strine. Oh dear. Was there any other great games? We played at Trauma Center co-op. That game was quite fun. Can't people? There's like some obscure ones where like
I really did enjoy the story in that, even though it was a bizarre story, but I enjoyed it.
And the guy was called Mark. I wouldn't let you be him. I had to be Mark. And there were some obscure ones where not only did you have to save people's lives, but there was one time you were trapped in a room and you had to dismantle a bomb. And you got like special powers and all that there. It's crazy.
Our strategy, if I remember, was you did all the work, I did nothing but inject the patient with the morphine or something.
Oh, we made a good team.
And then I take all the credit by doing the final move by applying the bandage onto the patient.
That's sort of like medical procedures in real life, because you have like the doctor, you have the surgeon doing the surgery, and then you have the nurse going scalpel, scissors. She was the nurse and I was the surgeon. So it actually worked out quite well. This game was very good. I always tried to do the gestures on the Wiimote. Half the time they didn't work, but when they did work, it was awesome, because you could do it like you get the Wiimote and nunchuck like you're doing a Kamehameha wave. I think when you put the Wiimote up, it just didn't work properly. But that was a fun little title. Skyward Sword. Some people like this game, some people don't. I love this game. Twilight Princess is still my favourite, but this is my second favourite. I loved the colourful worlds. You had to do backtracking, but I find the worlds so interesting. And the motion controls in that game were fantastic. Like the motion plus actually swinging your sword. What do you think of this one?
I didn't care too much for it. It just wasn't my cup of tea, apparently.
You didn't like the motion controls, did you? That was your problem with it. I love motion controls if they're done right. If they're done wrong, I don't want to know about it. But these motion controls are brilliant. This was one we played a lot. Mario Strikers Charged. A brilliant Wii title. I was really good at doing the special shots. I love games that are really gritty looking. Like look how gritty Mario looks there. If they release an art book of this, I'd love to get it. I loved the brutality of this one. You never played this one, but I love this one. If you love real-time strategy games, you'll love Battalion Wars 2. You control a bunch of toy soldiers and shoot other toy soldiers from different countries. Stereotypical soldiers from different countries, and cutscenes are quite amusing. So this is a, dare I say, hidden gem. I love this one. People complained about the voice acting, but I liked it. Screw you guys, I like this game. It's not in the same league as Prime, but it's a very different game from Prime. Did you play this one?
I played a wee bit. I did mind it.
Yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know why it got so much hate. I think people were just expecting another Prime game, and I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. Back in the day, you got a Wiimote and you only had to pay an extra £5 or £10 to get Wii Play, so I thought I may as well. And I enjoyed this one. The tank game in particular was fun, and riding on the cow. Some people think this game's shovelware, but I like it.
My favourite mini game was fishing.
Fishing was alright, so it was. It looked so tacky though, with the cardboard fish. But it was brilliant. I actually like this game a lot. The motion controls are done well. Link's crossbow training. I got this game for £3, worth every penny. I also got this. Well, I bought this separately for £4. This is a on-rail shooter, and I love using this, going around shooting all the targets. What do you think of this one?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Certain sections I thought were better than others.
What about the time when you're shooting all the skeletons and you get the machine gun? You're like,
Yeah, but I think I preferred those more than just the actual aiming target sections.
I think I enjoyed this one a bit more than you. These games are brilliant though. You can get a better version of this game on the Wii U, so I probably shouldn't talk about this one. Maybe when I do the Wii U retrospective. This game, on the other hand, this game is brilliant. It's completely different from Red Steel 1. They really should have called it something else. You're in sort of ancient China and you have a samurai sword and gun. The gun is useless, but the samurai sword is fantastic using the Motion Plus. This and Zelda Skyward Sword use the Motion Plus perfectly. So I really enjoyed this one. One of the definitely one to pick up and play, though my only complaint was it was a bit short. We played this one, Sin and Punishment, Successes of the Skies.
Filthy cur. That's all I remember from
that was so random. Like, you're these kids and you have to escape, and I'm not entirely sure the story, but the first boss, he just goes, "Filthy cur." You have to kill him. And there's this bit where the girl falls on this giant spike. He goes, "Are you alright?" We just had our minds open. It's like, what? And he goes, "Yeah." It's like, freaking hell. So this game's as hard as nails, even on easy mode. And then we have Wii Sports Resort, which is a better version of Wii Sports. It uses the Motion Plus very well. So yeah, this really shows off the Wii's motion controls. Now we've played a bit of this one, Tatsunoko vs Capcom.
I don't think I've played one.
Now, you played a few matches. It's very wacky. We're not really into fighting games, but if you're into fighting games, this one's as wacky as hell. So we played a few rounds of it, and it was a lot of fun. The characters are nice and wacky, the way we like them. So anyway, guys, that was us looking back at the Nintendo Wii. It was truly revolutionary for its time. Let us know, what is your experiences on the Wii? Did you enjoy it as much as us, or did the motion controls ruin the experience? I just seen here, I got a free orchestra CD with this. Apparently this is the limited edition one. Though I've never actually used this CD. I really shouldn't I? I'm an idiot. I should use that in my bloody car. Although if I use it in my car, CDs get damaged easily in cars, so I might just rip music.